What's up? What's up? What's up? You ever wonder if what you're doing with your finances right now is costing you money unknowingly and unnecessarily? Well, if you ever wondered that, you are at the right place at the right time. Today's live discussion with one of my amazing partners, uh, Terrence with Tuesdays and Badui Financial Services. And with me is going to be amazing because we're going to talk about what you don't know and how what you don't know about life insurance is costing you money right now while you're alive, unknowingly and unnecessarily. So let's get into it. It's your girl Saran. I come to you every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. I want to say a special shout out to my Instagram people today. This is my first time getting on Instagram because I just finally figured out how to hook it up. So, welcome to the live. We're going to get into some really, really good stuff today, and I want to make sure that you are here and present. Couple of things. One, don't forget to get your copy of the new book. It is live, it is available. It is on barnesandnoble.com. I'm going to drop the link in the chat so you can get your copy of Destiny Expose, Leading Ladies Edition. We are in the top 20 on Barnes and Noble after we launched 2 weeks ago. So don't forget to get your copy. There'll be a link coming for the hard copies coming in about a week, but the digital copies are available right now. So don't forget to get your copy. I'm excited to have that, be able to bring that to you. I'll put the link in the chat right now. But for those of you joining for the first time live, I'm so excited to see you. I'm going to see you in the comments over here. See, Relevant TV needs a hard copy. You'll get your hard copy when you come to Maryland. I'm inviting you to Maryland, Relevant TV. You know who you are. Anyway, I want to make sure we get started as I usually do. Many of you don't haven't been here, but I always start with an affirmation because I believe that money is about mindset first. We have to shift our minds about money, how we think about it, how we see it, how it feels to us, how it smells to us. We have to change our mind about it. But we also have to change our minds about ourselves too. So this week's affirmation is I am healed and I release all stuck energy and I forgive myself with grace. My confidence is magnetic. I'm going to put a copy of that in the chat for you so that you will have it. And what I always tell people to do is to go ahead and say it to yourself, write it out, remind yourself because we're reprogramming ourselves from old messages that we've given ourselves, old stories that family members have told us, all the fears, all the anxieties, all those things that have kept us stuck throughout the years. That's what affirmations do. We reprogram the brain. So, listen, I want to tell y'all something real quick, and then I want to get right into it and bring my guy Terrence on because he's amazing. He's excitable. We're gonna see how this goes because we're two exciting people together. So I don't know how this is gonna go. But I want to tell you a little bit about last week I was in Costa Rica. Many of you know I went there to celebrate my birthday with a lot of friends and family and made some new friends. I was super excited to be there, super excited to just be celebrating life. And for me, it's a little bit different this year because last year I almost died on my birthday in a car accident. And I literally was just watching a video where I left the house on the ring camera, left the house walking with my bag, went, put the trash out, went to work, and came home, could barely walk on crutches because I had been in an accident that day. And I ended up being at home for about 5 or 6 months. But it didn't matter because I worked on my mindset and my money while I was home. So I got better and got to a better place so that I could bring these things. But while I was in Costa Rica, the coolest thing I did while I was there is I rode a four-wheeler ATV. I know probably people like I did that before. That's regular, right? But I've done it before, but just in like the car ATV where it's like two of you. But I never did the four-wheeler by myself. So I did it and we're riding through these beautiful rainforests, through the quaint little local towns. I'm super confident in my driving skills, even though I never did one before, because my first car was a six shift, and it was an '89 Volkswagen Fox, and I could turn that joint on rails with my eyes closed, right? So I didn't really pay attention to the guy telling me what to do. That's probably a bad idea. But After that, it's just a machine, and I knew how to drive the car. So I went ahead and I'm running through. I'm running. I'm in fifth gear. I'm killing it. Then we come up to this stream of rushing water. Without hesitation, I just hit the gas because I knew that's what I needed to do. Just hit the gas and keep going. But that didn't work. It backfired. My behind got stuck in the hottest rushing water you ever seen. The engine flooded. All that hot, steamy water was on my legs, ruined all my everything I had on. And I was just like, oh my God, what did I do? And the instructor rushed over. He's like, ma'am, I told you to put it in second gear because I wasn't listening. And I got stuck. But I was trying to go fast. I was into the exhilaration, the excitement. The wind in my head was drizzling. And it's raining, and I had these, I couldn't really see through my sunglasses. So I'm just driving it. I'm just going, going, going. And so I got stuck. So he got me out. Once he got me out, I was able to, push through and, get back on track and get back with the group and do all the things. Later, I was thinking, man, how fun it was and how fast paced it was. But I was thinking, how many times do we do that with our money? We're living fast paced lives. We're hustling hard. We're working full time jobs. We're running side businesses. We're taking on extra gigs. We're keeping the cash flowing as fast as we can because we got to keep the cash flowing because the way things are going is you gotta have money flowing all the time, right? We're constantly pushing, we're aiming for high gear, we're applying for promotions, we're going after jobs we don't think we could do so that we can make more money. But the thing is that sometimes, just like me getting stuck with ATV, I had to gear down to push forward. Sometimes we have to gear down with our finances and gear down in our life and take a step back, take a look at what we're doing, reassess, get with someone professional to help you get through it. Like I had to get the guy to get me out of that hot water, right? And those who know me, I wanted to say something else after hot, but that water was hot. But you want to help somebody to get you out of there, to get you out of where you're stuck, to stop feeling like you're flooded in the hot water. You're sinking in bills or debt or things like that. You think you know what to do, but if you did, you wouldn't still be where you are right now, right? So it's not just about going fast. It's about being strategic in how you go and ensuring you have the right power to push through, ensuring you have the right people on your team to help you. So just like you go to the doctor's office and you have a team of people, you have your general practitioner, and as women we have GYN, and then you have your eye doctor, your ear doctor, all these different people. You have your dentist. They're all separate. These are part of your team. With your finances, you need a team too, right? To push you through. So I say all that to say we have to really start understanding where we are with our money and feeling like we can push through, but not just by going fast, but maybe slowing down and going strategically. So that's my little story for this week, but I hope that helps you. Hope that brings you into the fold. I want to make sure you know that I'm here to be a resource to help you for that. I want to shout out everybody in the chat today. Hey, Robin. Hey, Millionaire Ladies Mob. Hey, Peaches. Hey, Relevant TV. I'm so glad to have you on here today with us live. But I want to bring on somebody that I think is super amazing. And he doesn't know, but he's like my big brother in finance. I've been stalking his page like since I got into finance a few years ago, and many years ago. And if I got a question, I'll text him like, "Hey, what do I do with this? What do I do with that?" And so it made sense to me to bring him in to the fold today so that we can close out Life Insurance Awareness Month because there's so many things we don't know about life insurance that is keeping us stuck, like I was stuck in that hot water. So I want to introduce to some and present to others H. Terrence Badui of Badui Financial Services. And this is my guy. I want you to just bring yourself in any way you feel comfortable and confident into the conversation, H.
Saran, Saran, covered by Saran. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm on your show. I think I'm having technical difficulties with my computer, so I do apologize to your guests. I feel honored because I hold you in high esteem, but I feel honored to be on your show tonight. So I might be feeling
I
myself.
can't
So
hear
if I
you.
get a little too confident, just know I'm just being H. Oh,
Well,
are we
listen,
muted?
that's
Hold
what
on.
we want
Hold
you
on.
to
Let's
do.
see.
I invited you to be you because your personality is the type of personality that we need here. and we need that strong Dominican personality. We need that strong male energy to help us get through. But I want to ask you a couple of questions, key questions, to just bring the conversation in. So about 2 weeks ago, I had Carmen on, and we were talking about how to use life insurance for real estate investment, and we went through 20, 30 different ways you could do it, right? But today, when we're closing out Life Insurance Awareness Month, I want to talk more about, other ways you can use the cash value to really impact your life, to do things that you never thought of, to help you save on taxes, to help you pay off debt, to get you into those places. So I want to start here because when we were talking earlier, you said something that I didn't know that I think is important for people to know, and that is, tell me, um, especially as someone who has come to the United States, right? Tell me, do you need to be a citizen of the United States to get life insurance?
No. First of all, I hope you can hear me well. One of the things people need to understand is I'm an immigrant, and I've been here in 3 years. It'll be 50 years I've been here. But
Okay.
I have a client who's undocumented, living in the Northeast in Jersey, and they have an index universal life policy where they're using that funds in that policy to kind of fund their retirement because they don't have a pension where they are or 401k. So the answer to your simple question is you don't have to be a US citizen. You don't have to have a green card. If you're undocumented and you are paying taxes and you have a social security number, you can certainly become, it's called a foreign national, and you can certainly have life insurance. Yes, you can.
I love it. So you mean to tell me all my good friends back in New York and all the places I'm from that maybe they still working on their paperwork. We're not saying you came in here on the slick. We just saying you just still working on your paperwork. Can get access to this tool that we're about to tell you how to use, like, strategically. Okay, all right. So let's get into it. Look, so
Exactly.
let's talk about a couple different ways that you can use it strategically. So, you mentioned to me earlier about one of your clients who used it for college funding. So, talk to me about how they did that and replaced kind of the 529 concept.
It's so funny. I was a guest on a podcast similar to this a few years ago. I think 2020 when COVID first started. And I was helping a client down in Savannah, Georgia. I went to deliver a policy down there. We weren't doing a lot of virtual then. And guess what? I get a call. I don't know the number. I ignore the number. It's a doctor, a medical doctor in New York. And in the message says, I saw you on a show and I wanted to know more. So I scheduled an appointment with her, and she had two young children at the time. One was 6 and one was 8, and they had 5 to 9 college savings plans. Now, most people don't understand about 5 to 9 college savings plans. Now, I used to administer those and service those. Now, the caveat is if the child doesn't use it for college, or if the child doesn't want to go to college, what are you going to do? So we actually created a plan using life insurance, overfunded it, and the kids were 6 and 8 at the time, 250 a piece. And Saran, guess what? Even if those kids never use that money, when they're my age, and I'm an old guy, they'll be a millionaire and they can access it tax free. So you can use cash value life insurance to fund post-secondary educational endeavors, whether it's trade school, college, grad school, whatever, you can use it. And most people are not aware of that. They're not. So you can do that. So it was kind of like, wow. So that doctor, she's actually my client still, and she's dropping a substantial amount in there for herself as well. But she's making sure that her children will have post-secondary educational expenses covered using life insurance, and not because they're going to die, but because they're going to live and go to college.
I love that because I'm having a little trouble with my sound, so I was trying to fix it. I love that because
It's okay.
we traditionally think that it's something that you can only use when when somebody dies, right? But what we're talking about is how you use it as a way to, as what we call supercharged savings, right? I know I was just talking to someone earlier and they were doing a client review, and that person was able to realize over the last year 12% on what they were putting into their cash value policy to help them do whatever it is that they want to do. And so that's the type of conversations that we really want to stress here, is that there's so many ways that you could be using it to help you to um, start a business, right? I run into people who say, "Hey, I want to buy a business, but they don't have money." Well, you can start to self fund. There's um, Miss Rashida said hi. I don't think that's DR language. Uh, but there's ways that you can use it to leverage it. You can create private equity. You can do these types of things to help move forward. Now, do you talk to me a little bit about specifically retirement? How your clients are also using it for retirement?
Well, before I do that, I just want to say welcome to all of your guests who are watching. I see a lot of my family and friends are watching as well. Rashida Davis and Robin and, Peach Goodwill and a bunch of others are watching as well. I want to say hello to Amario Pong and a bunch of others who are watching. Welcome to Saran T. Baker's podcast, covered by Saran. But the important thing about it is that people can use, I'm going to tell you a story. I got a text 2 weeks ago from someone who said Bardui, and actually in the Caribbean, they don't say Bardui, they say Badwill, with the accent, Badwill. They say, Badwill, I should have listened to you 4 years ago. This person took about $400,000 or $500,000, went down there, bought a house cash, and then a building other stuff down there. But guess what? I told them you could have used an infinite banking concept and use OPM. And OPM simply stands for other people's money. We're not telling you not to do your real estate endeavors. We're not telling you not to build a home in the Caribbean or wherever you want to. But why use your funds? Use other people's money. And the money you would have been paying the mortgage company or the credit union or the finance company, you could be paying that back and paying yourself. And this person was in a bind and they needed money. Thankfully, they had another concept for an infinite banking for their daughter. They were able to get about $10,000. I could help them with that. Saran, most people don't understand you can leverage life insurance for investing, real estate investing, because I
Yes.
heard someone said that a recession is a garage sale for the prepared. A recession is a garage sale for the prepared. What I mean by that is if you have money and there's a recession and people want to sell stuff, you can get it for pennies on the dollar because people are willing to sell. Most
Yep.
people don't understand they can leverage their life insurance into an asset. It's an asset that you can use to purchase real estate. And there's a lot of other things you can do, premium finance and a whole bunch of other things we don't get into because I can't give you all the information on this call. What I'm saying to people should be contacting you so that you can show them how to leverage it and stop putting money in banks.
You
Because guess
both.
what? Your boo can see it, your this, your that, your uncle could see it. If I sue you, Saran, if I came to your house and I fell down and I sue you and you have $200,000 in the bank, my attorneys can access that. The government can access that. So you need to understand how to use life insurance as a private bank that only you and you alone can access. And it can be done. I'm doing it for clients every day. As a matter of fact, I just talked to someone tonight about that. I have an appointment tomorrow morning. Someone wanted to do some real estate investing, and we're going to show them how to use other people's money and redirect inefficient dollars into an efficient way of using life insurance to create wealth.
You know what? I love that, H, because at the end of the day, the biggest thing is that we have to learn to leverage our money. Like in my story I was telling earlier, we're out here, we're making the money, right? You know, I'm in the DMV. We got people making six figures at their government job. Their spouses are making six figures. They're bringing home a quarter million to half a million between the two of them, whatever they're doing. But what happens is we're using it traditionally. We're going to work, learning to pay bills, and we just keeping the cycle because unfortunately the money conversations that are had at different dinner tables aren't haven't been had with us. And so we're having to reteach ourselves through YouTube videos and podcasts and things like that so that we can learn what some of the money tricks are, right? And you mentioned a few key words, and I want to pull those out. You talked about private equity banking, bank on yourself, right? Using a private reserve strategy. Those are all key words. Those are all things that are becoming more in the light, if you will, where people know, hey, there's an alternative to just putting my money in a bank account for 1% or 3% or whatever the low number is right now. But the idea is that we have these conversations so that you can learn to bank on yourself. If you want to start a business, you have cash value that you can leverage. Even if you don't take the loan out from the policy, your policy is an asset that you can use as collateral, right? And that's something that is a lot more advanced. It's a much more advanced strategy, but it is an option. I don't think we really know. And then the buzzword right now, and you're gonna laugh when you hear this, age, generational wealth. That's the huge buzzword, right? Everybody that's trying to get you to do something is saying you build generational wealth. But the fastest way, the easiest way, and the simplest way is to get a cash value policy that automatically creates an estate for you. And you get to use the money now, right? And here's a cool one, right? I use it to travel. I just told the story. I just came back from Costa Rica. I use mine to travel. I get the points on my card. I pay my card off, and I use somebody else's money to do it to get the points and the travel. And I got that amazing ATV story I just told y'all because I'm definitely gonna do it again, right? So the idea is to really understand how to do it. You want to travel the world. You want to create a private pension. You want to assist family members, right? I have a client who is from Nigeria, and I set her up. She was one of my very first clients. That's how long ago it was. She's probably had this thing maybe 5 or 6 years. And she called me. She says, "I forgot I had this thing. How do I get the money?" So I went, and, got on the phone with her, showed her how to do it. She was able to pull out enough money to rebuild her mom's home in Nigeria because she needed a ramp and all these other handicap accessibility. They didn't have to borrow money from anybody else. She had it. She had the money within 3 days. So she said, "I need it by a certain time." I said, "Well, put the application in and then call." And they went ahead and processed everything. And she's like, "I got almost $15,000 to do everything I needed like that." Her mom's 95. She's in Nigeria, still living strong, just need a little bit of assistance. And so the thing is that it's not just about getting the cash to do businesses. It's about sometimes we're taking care of family. We're doing different things. We want to be able to get it. And then the other thing, this is a cool one. I forgot who I was talking to earlier, but for those of you who are about to receive your retirement, and you may be still eligible for Social Security because it's a crapshoot if I'm going to get it. I don't know. I mean, H, you got a couple years on me, but you might get it too. But I don't know if I'm going to get it, right? Because I'm a little bit younger. But if you do get it, Social Security is taxable based on the amount of money you have coming from other retirement income streams. Well, if you use your money and put it into cash value life insurance, it doesn't count as income anywhere.
It's so funny that you said that. Tonight, I had an appointment with someone. I'm trying to do a rollover of their 401k for them. Um, it's like about 100 grand, and basically that individual I was explaining to them the simple concept that you just talked about. But all they know is banks, credit unions. And I told them, I said, you know what? Let's table it for now because I have to convince you and I have to show you how you can use these concepts because most people are not aware. This is what wealth creators have been doing for a long time. You know, people like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, you know, the Kennedys, you know, they've been doing that. But the average Joe and the average Julie can do it as well. Now, you may not have millions or billions, but you can have thousands or hundreds of thousands. And the younger you start, the better it is.
Correct.
Yesterday, I was in Staples. You know, me and Sandy was getting something, right? And there was a young man not making, but putting together chairs. How you call them? The desks and the
Okay.
chairs for gaming. And this young man is 18 years old. And I said, "Man, you're very smart. I couldn't do that. I can't use my hands for nothing." He goes, "No, you don't look. You don't look like you don't know what you're talking about." So, anyways, what I did was I asked him three basic questions, and he said to me, "Oh my gosh, can you teach me how to invest?" I said, "I can do better. I'm going to teach you how to create wealth for yourself and how you can access it down the road." I asked him, from your little part-time job at Staples, how much of your money do you save? He said, all of it. I said,
Oh
he's
wow.
18 years old. Listen to me.
Well, he's 18. He's at home with
I'm
mom.
old.
He's
I'll
at
be
home with
60
mom and
next month.
dad. He doesn't spend any money.
Exactly. But I said to him, when you're my age, you can be accessing $1 million tax free.
Yeah.
The guy said to me, "Can you give me an appointment tonight?" He's 18 years old. And I'm like, "Well, I can't tonight. I can't tomorrow night. I got Saran. Tuesday, I got Tuesday's returns. But I said Thursday we will talk." The kid is 18 years old. And listen to me, what blew my mind was there are people who've been watching Tuesday's returns or watching your show for weeks and months, and they still don't get it. This kid was 18 years old and he's willing to explore and learn about how he can leverage his money and he can use some of it for investing. I'm not opposed to investing. I'm the safe money guy. I'm going to teach you how to compound your money
Right.
tax free. And if you want to invest, if you want to do real estate investing, do that as well. But make sure you have guarantees. And this young man's going to do that, Saran. And that's what we have to be teaching people. And I know you're doing that, Saran, making sure people can leverage their money, that they can access it when they need it, and then access it and use it tax free, which you can't do with your 401k, your 403b, your TSP, and your 457.
Right.
That's
Well,
what
and
we're
here's the
teaching.
thing. This generation, they're so open to it because they're like, wait, there's a way not to work forever, and there's a way to accumulate money fast, and I have this leverage to be at home for the next 5, 6, 7 years. Because if you do smart, if I knew what I know now at 18, I probably wouldn't have all these degrees, so I wouldn't have had no student loans. But the thing is that we're trying to get the information out to you, right? And this is just a conversation. This isn't necessarily where we're doing the deep dive on the technicalities of it. We're just trying to explain to you that there are other ways to get yourself in a position financially to find yourself in a space where you can grow your money in a safe way, where you can still have access to it, where you still have control. We call it luck, liquidity, use, and control of your money, where you can do that. And so the thing is this is the cool part. This is something that I heard one of my other mentors say. Here's the idea behind this cash value. And if when I drop this, this is what would change the game for me many years ago. And what that is this is if I came to you right now, H, with an opportunity that if you gave me $1,000 and you give me $1,000 and I'm going to be able to give you a return of $10,000 and you can't participate because you don't have $1,000. How much money did you lose? You lost the opportunity of that whole the $9,000 you would have made if you had $1,000. And so the other piece is we're losing out on so many opportunities because we don't have the $1,000 or the $5,000 or the $10,000 or whatever the opportunity is that comes across your desk. I don't know what kind of opportunities come to everyone watching this live, but having access to that cash immediately in a safe space where you can go and participate. But some people aren't even willing to say, all right, I don't have the 1,000. They're not even willing to go figure out how to get the 1,000 because we're stuck in our money mindset. And we got to break that glass around us and get more flexible to start to learn to understand things. So tell me a little bit about some of your favorite ways to leverage it, because I know you well enough to know that you have the vehicle, your wife has the vehicle, your kids have the vehicle. So tell me a little bit how you like to leverage it.
Well, first of all, you just talked about opportunity cost, right? And opportunity cost is key. But some people always think I need a lot of money to start doing what I'm doing. Start where you can. You remember, Saran, when you got out of state, did you have a house right away? No, you had to build, right? And then you may have a smaller house, you get a bigger house. My point I'm trying to make here is start with what you can. And don't let opportunity pass you by, because the older you get, the more expensive it becomes. Now, some people have done a great job in saving their money, and some people are not disciplined that way. So, what you could do, there's an option. Check this out. You all love banks, right? So, check this out. You have
I
a
don't love banks, but go ahead.
bank, you have a bank where you get paid, where your paycheck goes into. All right. But listen to this. You have a bank where your paycheck go into, then you get another bank account with one of those online banks, right? Like Ally or wherever, a bank or in a different state somewhere. You can't ask. You have no ATM card, no checks, intentionally, right? So if it's in like Wisconsin and you live in Virginia, you can't access it with a phone call, right? And then when that money goes into that bank, then you use that bank to have premiums go, and you redirect those premiums into what we call an infinite banking concept. And
Right,
as you do that, you start, so you don't have access to the money, but if you need, as you start accumulating funds and you have a hardship, or you need to buy a car, or you need to, I don't know, whatever you, like you said, you use just for vacationing, you can use it to do that. And don't think about the big figures. Start small. It may be $50 a month. It may maybe $100 a month. I believe everybody can afford $50 to $100 a month. I believe that. If you go to McDonald's every day, or Starbucks every day, or Wawa every day, or Sheets every day, or 7-Eleven every day, and you do that times a week, times a month, you're spending one, two, three, four, five, $100 a month on
right.
foolishness. But and I'm not telling you not to go to those places, but if it's not in your budget, you don't know how much you're spending. So therefore, I'm recommending that you use this concept to buy cars, to do real estate investing. You all like stocks and bonds, do that too. You like whatever it is, crypto, whatever it is that you're doing. I'm not doing those things, but it doesn't mean those people can't do those. You can, and always remember, you're never using your money. Wouldn't it be nice if you go to the bank and you take out $5,000 to buy something, and then you're still earning uninterrupted compounded interest on that same 5,000? You can't do that at your credit union. You can't do it at Capital One. You can't do it at Chase. So why are you keep doing that? Because that's all you know. What you need to do is to get with someone like Saran, who can sit down with you, show you the concept, create a plan that's going to work for your specific situation. There is no way Saran can ask you these questions on this podcast, because she's got to get into your business. And everyone's
In
going
your
to know your
business.
business. Some of your friends might be watching, right? So you schedule a private Zoom with her, and she can go over and lay it out for you line by line, precept by precept. I have people watching right now. One of my clients to watch, a potential client watching right now, and I've told her what she needs to do. But life happens, and sometimes people got to do different things. My thing is simply this: use this concept to leverage what you're doing, and you can access it tax free, even for a pension. How many people do you know who are hairdressers? who are barbers.
Mm-hmm.
They got a chicken thing on the side. They do hair on the side. They make cakes on the side. You can the monies that you're earning, you can use that to fund tax-free retirement down the road. But you know what though? I have a 29-year-old client. You know what he did? I advised him against it. He withdrew the money from his 401k. He now owns his own business. He does landscaping, and he wanted to drop $5,000 a month into this concept.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Don't. You're an entrepreneur. You know you have incidentals. Let's put two. The boy's 29. When he's 50, he'll be getting over 100 grand tax free every year for the rest of his life, and that doesn't even include when he gets to Social Security age. Why? Because he's willing to leverage what he's doing. You need to change your mindset, folks. It's a mindset, it's a paradigm shift, a mindset. Change what you're doing. Start small if you're not sure. And then as you get to see how it works, you can do more and more and more and more. And then you'll be balling. I wish, Saran, you and I could talk to all the young African American athletes and rappers and singers. I wish we could because we would show them they would never be broke for the rest of their lives because they make too much money. Waka Flocka drops money into this concept.
Yes, he
He
does.
does it.
Yeah. But
And you can do it too.
I think you hit on a couple of really key things. I want to shout a few people out in the chat. I see Sharon Morton here, the president of Black Door Society. Welcome. I see Aaliyah. I see a bunch of people on Instagram, so shout out to my Instagram family. I see Mike in New York, D Nice, the Barber, Malaysia, Leslie, Pretty and Gritty. So I'm excited to have you guys join me live. This is my first time on Instagram Live. I'm gonna figure it out how to do it again. But I really want to just hone in on some of the cool things you talked about. So I'm gonna use the technical terms: funding your own self-directed financial retirement or IRAs, or figuring out how to do that. Doing down payment for luxury items. How many people like luxury items? Some people want to buy the luxury cars. Their thing is collecting cars. Well, guess what? This is a way to help you do that in addition to whatever else you're doing. Create a sabbatical for yourself. How many overworked moms who just need a break? You could be accumulating this cash just to take a break in the future, just specifically for that, right? Bridging, flipping properties. I went deep on this about 2 weeks ago. You can use this for flipping properties. Instead of going to a hard money lender, how about you become a hard money lender? That's a whole different deal. You're making a high interest rate. You're saying, hey, I'll loan you this money for this deal, and these are the terms. And you got to have a lawyer to make sure your paperwork's right, because you just don't go giving people money. It's not like loaning money to Ray right now. You want to have some things in place, but you put yourself in a position where you can be the bank for real, not just for yourself, but you could be the bank for other people. You have the right legal documents in place where you're the lender, where you're earning the interest back to you. And so making sure that we know that it's not just that. And all my people who like cryptocurrency and trading options and all that, how about you secure your money first, then go invest? Secure that money to where it's earning the uninterrupted compound interest. Then go ahead and take it out. Then go trade the options and make all the money trading the options. I know a young girl right now. She's killing the options trading, right? And she's getting really good at it. But guess what she did do? She secured her money in a cash value policy first before she went and traded those options. So now she's double dipping and she's making that money twice. So, hey, Karen, I see question goes with Carolyn in the chat. So, listen, H, talk to me about some of the financial assets you see people buy, and some of the things you like to buy with the cash value.
I see people buying bikes, boats, some people flipping. I have a friend who just bought a property around the corner from state, and she took a loan because her grandson attends school there, so he can live there. I'm thinking, can you imagine if that family had a trust? Let's call it X Family Trust. And I remember when her grandson was born, I just moved to Virginia from Boston. And every time someone's born, like the Rockefellers, you take out a life insurance policy, right? The owner is the trust, the family trust.
That's correct.
The beneficiary is the trust. And the insured is that young person who was born, a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter. Because usually when you're born after 2 weeks, almost everyone's healthy, right?
Right. Almost.
And then,
Hopefully.
hopefully, right? Not everyone, but hopefully, because I have a friend whose child was diagnosed with autism at a client at 6. But for the first 6 years, there was no diagnosis, so they could have had something. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
then, whenever you need money for college or to buy that boat or that car, you just take a loan from the policy instead of going to the bank. And let's say you calculate what it would have been, $200 a month, $500, then you paid back into the trust. Your family will never run out of money. There will be an
Never.
executor of the trust, a successor one, someone who's responsible. It doesn't have to be a family member. It could be an attorney or a trust department of a bank somewhere. But those are the more complicated ones. But you can do that with your family as well. Your children, you have grandchildren, don't be putting money in the bank for them. Create one of those. Every family who has assets over $100,000, $200,000, they should create a trust.
Yeah.
I
Actually, and
have a
I
client who
feel
did
like
that in Texas. They have a family trust, and what they did was, go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like you didn't have to wait till you get to 100,000 because the trust protects you. So if you're building to that 100,000, don't wait. Don't wait so long. Don't think, oh, I gotta have all this amount of money to do it. And my favorite thing is when people say, oh, I don't want to pay estate taxes. Listen, get the $8 million first, and then let's talk about estate taxes. Get the 6 million. Most states is like 6 million, and feds is around 8 million. Can you get the first million first before you start worrying about estate taxes? You know what I'm saying? So, but getting the trust, if you set the trust up right, and there's a way to set it up in a series of trusts, 3 trusts, to have your family trust, have your business trust, and have a ministry trust, and put yourself in a position where you have removed that taxable income 3 different ways. And so it's a process to set those types of things up. And those are the types of things that you'll learn working with financial professionals. But I love the idea that you put it in there. I just wanted to stop you because I feel like don't wait till you get 100,000. Because people feel like I only got 5,000, but you got a car, you got all these other things, you got all these things. Get the stuff as soon as you can. You can always update it. Right now, don't go spend $5,000 or $10,000 on a trust and you got $1,000 worth of assets. No, that because that's crazy. But you can get a basic one, get started, or you can get with us and get something set up that's within your means where you are now. Because the biggest thing is controlling it. That's all it is about. Own nothing, control everything. That's what the rich mean when they say own nothing, control everything. You don't have to own jack, but you can control it. So
It's
I'm sorry,
fun,
I cut you off.
it's okay. It's funny you said that because wealthy people, it's hard to sue them. They don't own anything. It's only the trust. People get mad at wealthy people who don't pay taxes. Well, those strategies can be learned. But some
Yeah,
of you have been, or some of us, let me rephrase that, have been indoctrinated with banks and put money on the mattress and safes. And wealthy people, they control stuff, but they don't own it. Own nothing, control everything. That's what the Rockefellers and people. Someone told me, "Oh, you're talking about Rockefellers. Do you know Rockefeller?" No, I don't know one. But do I know LeBron James? No, but I know what he does. People don't understand this. There are concepts that people are using, and the funny thing about it is, do your own research. Do your own research. Find out, go to your bank and go to fdic.gov and see how much billions of dollars your bank have in cash value life insurance. Why? Because it's an asset and they can use it to leverage and fund retirement planning for their executives tax-free. And they don't have to disclose it to anybody. Some of you are so
Right.
private with
Wait,
your money.
I want to put a pin in that because you blanked out for me because of your technology. I want to make sure that this point does not get lost. Your
Okay.
bank owns more life insurance, cash value life insurance, than any other financial asset. And I'll put money on that because I've looked at the numbers. They own more cash
Exactly.
value life insurance than any other financial tool, and we don't own any of it. You know why? Because they understand the concept of control nothing. Excuse me. I lost my own little thought there. They understand the concept of own nothing, control everything. So nothing is they own it. But they control it, and they use these vehicles to their advantage. And we're not using the vehicles. We're out here doing scared money tactics, right? Let me hurry up and save. Let me hurry up and save. And we're running over here, and we're responding to every emergency we see on television instead of just always being prepared or finding a way to always be prepared. And this is no knock because we've all been in places where maybe we weren't as financially sound as we'd like to be. But that's the time when you're learning your lessons, and you should be thinking about how do I get better, even if it's this $5, $10, $25, getting yourself out of that rut. But I wanted to make sure we didn't lose that point of that the banks own more cash value life insurance than any other asset on their balance books. And there's websites that'll show you how much your bank owns. But go ahead, H.
It's so funny. I have a client in Texas who audit the big companies. And when they first learned about this is what the client said to me. Havis, how come I don't know about this? This person is a high income earner. When they realized how much cash value the banks they were auditing had, it was a no-brainer because they're in the industry now. But you see, the average Joe, sometimes what the big challenge for me when I'm talking to regular people about these concepts is because the banks are not telling you about it, but they have it. Large insurance companies, think about it. They do the same thing with their key employees. And the government's not going to tell you about it. Why would the government tell you about something where you don't have to pay taxes for? They want you to have a 401k, a 403b, a 457, a TSP, an IRA, even a Roth IRA. If you have one and you go take it before you're 59 and a half, you got to pay a penalty. So why don't you
Yeah,
use these
yeah.
concepts?
Don't forget the CDs.
Use these.
Constantly losing depreciating assets.
That's what it is. And the thing about it is, those funds, nobody knows about it. Banks don't have to disclose that on their balance sheet, but they have it. Why aren't they telling you about it? Because if you know, you'll be just like them. They want you to come to them for the loan. You become the bank.
Yeah.
You become the bank. You use OPM. Saran, this is not, let me tell you, for some people it's like rocket science, but this thing, I wish you will never hear it being advertised on TV by the government. You'll never hear it being advertised by the banks because they don't want you to know it. Do some research. And if you're not sure, try it for a little bit. But your money, you're not going to lose any of the money.
Right.
You can never lose any of it. So you're worried? Do your own research. There's books I can recommend for you to do. And let me tell you something, folks. When you learn the concept, that young 29-year-old, he says, I want to dump all my money in it. I just want to build cash. He's not married. He owns a home. He rides bikes. He likes bikes. If he wants to buy a bike, he can do it. That guy don't even bother me. You know why? Because he understands it's not a marathon. I mean, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You're building, and the more money you have, you're in the DMV, Saran. There's a lot of young
Yeah.
people making a lot of money. I wish. I'm not telling them not to travel. I'm not telling them not to do all the things they love to do, but use other people's money to do it and access it tax free. It can be done. You, all of Saran's friends who are watching tonight, every single one of you needs to have a one-on-one with her. Let her explain to you in detail and show you. This is just a talk. We're just talking about it. We're not showing you anything. Let her show you. And if she shows you, you'll be able to do it. And get her book. Get that stuff, man. And there's a plethora of books, a number of books we can give you to use. But first, have a one-on-one. Because the questions you want to ask, you can't ask it on this forum. And Saran can help you.
Yeah. And listen, if you like, man, Saran, you don't want you to know all my business, just call H. That's my guy. Just call H. It's okay. We are, we are complimentary. We help. We want you to just have access to these vehicles, right? And we're gonna make sure you can get in contact with Karen. You can follow him on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, right?
Right.
I think I got all three.
Give me the
You
money.
can get in contact with him. He's one of my. I have to say you're one of my favorite people from Dominica because my godmother's from Dominica, so she has to be my number one. So she's still in New York. She's
All right. And
81
I'll be number
now.
two. But you know what,
She's
Saran?
81 now. So that's my favorite person from Dominica. So you could be number two. But listen, it's been a
And
great
some,
talk.
and Saran, some of my people who are watching, you're like, well, I don't want him to know my business. Call Saran. She'll handle it for you. I
Yeah,
trust her explicitly. She will do it
ditto.
for you. Don't be
Yeah, because
scared.
he done some stuff for me. I was like, I don't know. He's like, all right, this is what we gonna do. I'm like, okay, let's go. So that's the thing. You gotta get in the room, get in the call, find out. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. Get with someone to help you. That's what we're here to do. We're excited to have so many of you here tonight live. I'm excited about Instagram for the first time. So I have like the Starship Enterprise and screens happening right now. H, I got Instagram on my left. I got you in the middle. I got my Facebook group on the right because I had to control all these just controlling stuff, right? Just to make sure that I was streaming everywhere that we can have this conversation. I'm back every Monday at 8:30. Next week, I'm gonna be bringing some of my co-authors, but I want to make sure, H, listen, I'm here to serve. Anything I can do for you, you name it, I'm here to support you and your community. And I want to make sure you drop all your handles before we get off this call. So tell people at I don't know what your thing is for Instagram. I forgot what it is, but tell them how to get in contact with you on Instagram. Or you can put it in the chat
All
too.
right. I'm going to put it in the chat for them, right? You want to follow me on Facebook? All you got to do is Havis Bardui. It's in the chat. You want my business Facebook? Bardui Financial Services. You
And
know,
you gotta type that in there. We don't spell.
you know, just put Havis Bardui and you're good to go. You're good to go. Folks, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, right? Whatever you do, have an open mind. Do research. Ask questions. Make sure that you can literally talk to Saran. She's going to go a step by step because some of these concepts you've never heard it before. So it's kind of like you're like, that's a new drug? No, it's not a new
Right.
drug. You just never heard about the drug. The wealthy use it. Your banks use it. Saran uses it. I use it.
Your
Why can't
elected
you? You can do it as
officials
well.
use
And
it.
folks,
Your elected officials use it.
all of them do.
Yep.
You all love Biden, right, for doing a great thing? He got about 6 of them. And I believe all of them in Congress have it. They won't tell you. They want you to have 401k. What they want is they want to. You think they're matching your money, your employer is, but you don't know what taxes are going to be in 20, 30 years when you retire. You're the 28% bracket, you might be in the 35% bracket. So why don't you learn to do it on a tax-free basis? And we're not telling you not to contribute to your 401k. Contribute up to the max. And then everything over that, call Saran and put it into those concepts.
Yep. Yep.
And watch it grow. Watch it
Well,
grow.
listen, H, this has been amazing. I gotta have you back. I know I've been on your show a couple times, and I was like, I gotta get H on this year. I think you were the first show I did last year after the car incident. So I wasn't walking when I was on your show last year in October. But I was happy to be there to educate and to inform. I'm happy you're able to come here today. You know, I really do look up to you and I appreciate you and all that you do and your time and your super high energy because it's 9:30 and it's like it's 9:30 p.m. and it's like it's 9:30 a.m. where you live. And I know you live in Richmond. So I know it's the same time zone. So, but I want to thank you for coming out. I'm going to close out real quick. Just hang in the back for me. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in today live. It's your girl, Saran, here from Chaos to Calm with your finances. We are live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. on YouTube, now Instagram, and Facebook, where you can get hear the good conversations about money, about mindset, and about changing your lives. Don't forget to tune in every Monday at 8:30 p.m. I'll be back next week with some of my co-authors. As I mentioned, I put in the chat, you can still get a copy of Destiny Expose, the Leading Ladies Edition. This is a Barnes & Noble bestseller. It's in the top 20 right now. You can download the digital version. I just got the hard copies. I will be making you'll be able to get the hard copies from me in the next week. You'll be able to order your hard copies and have them delivered. Don't forget to get it and read it. There are phenomenal women in here, including me, obviously, who are talking about leadership. And my session is Leadership Through Loss, a Sister Mom's Tale of Strength. I'd love for you to read that, give us some feedback, provide us with a review on Barnes and Noble. And if you need help leveling up your finances and you want to get started, and maybe you're shy, you want to pull your things together and have people say you want to get the house clean before the cleaning people get there, I am offering you in the chat. You can go to www.richauntieSecrets.com and you can buy the financial workbook to help you pull your budget together, figure out where your debt is, put things together for you so you can have an idea of what's going on. And then you can book an appointment, but you can get the Rich Auntie Secrets workbook at www.RichAuntieSecrets.com. It is $27. It is priced phenomenally low. It is well over $100 worth of information, if not more, that was poured into this document. That's over 10 to 15 pages. That's going to help you get your finances together. So I would love to see you back here next week. But until then, peace, love, and light. Let's get your money right. Bye.